morning, Jules here. Welcome to my channel. So what we're doing today is nothing new. We're doing some journal cards and they look quite pretty. We're doing some stamping, sticking labels on. We've used some of the foam labels that we did, but these are a little bit different. They've got more journaling space inside, so they've got little flaps on the back, and then they've got an accordion pull out. Now on 3 of these I've used coffee dyed paper. On this one I've used an old scrap sheet. It's a list that you get in the hotels, you know, for sending off your laundry service. You can write on that. You can certainly write on the other side. And I dyed that with avocado paper. So you can use anything. The reason I use that is because it's quite thin, like dictionary paper, and I like the crunchy, crispy bit of it. And we did fancy corners, we did some stamping. These have just got coffee dyed paper again. And I used bits of digitals. This one, oh, this one's got the same, the laundry list, cleaning. And this one, instead of, I did that way because I did the flaps that way. And again, and if you want, you can write on that. So it just gives you that extra journaling. Sorry, it's a bit early in the morning. Just gives you that extra journaling space. And it doesn't matter which way you put your flaps, you know, whether you put them that way or that way, whether you have them at the edge or whether you have them edge to edge. And you can see I didn't line them up very good. It was because I did them both together and I didn't do it centre. Hey-ho, not really bothered. So what we need, I've already cut some bits of card out. So I've got some bits from a coffee dyed. These are just bits that I've printed on. There's a bit of some bits of craft card there. Bits of what looks like parchment card. So I think we'll do this one first. Now this one is, whoops, throwing my stamp blocks about. This one is 3.5 by 5. So it's kind of a postcard, journaling card space. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for some card. And this is just, I think I don't know what it is. So I've got 2 pieces, 3.5 by 2.5. Now what I do need is I need a hinge on these because I need it for the flap. And I'll get my little board out. I've lost my creasing tool again for this. I keep misplacing it and finding it and misplacing it. So we're going to use my ball tool pen. And what I'm looking for is, this is in inches, but I just want it a little bit, so, and it does 8, so 1, 2, 3, 3/8. And again with this one, 3/8. We'll put that to one side. I'm just using my, because this is card, I'm using my bone folder to just burnish it down. Whoops. And if you're not careful, you'll crease your card because paper does stretch. But never mind. And then I've got this little, it's a Fiskars. I've had this for absolute years, must be about 20 years. It's from my card making days. And it does different corners. And I think we'll do it with this one. I've had to actually, I had a few and I've had to throw them out. Because if you don't use them, it's like everything else. They go stiff. That one doesn't have a catcher. That was $7.99 years and years ago, so it would have been a considered purchase. And there we are. I'm going to have... So there's my 2 flaps. Like that. And I'm going to put them together. And instead of putting a hole, I'm going to put a ribbon slider. And again, I'm not doing the middle. I'm just guessing it. So I'm going to have a ribbon slider hole. And I haven't done the middle, I can see. It doesn't matter. Oh, sorry, my husband's coming in. And that's for our fastener there. So I think what we might do with this card, instead of doing it that way, I think we'll have it opening at the back like that. So again, I'm going to ink around the edges and I'll keep them out because I might do some little bits of stamping. So the next thing what we want is we want some, and it's just coffee dyed paper I'm using, and it's an A4 sheet or the same as a letter size. It doesn't matter. They all work the same. There's no measurements here. So again, I fold it in half. I fold this one in half here. And I've got, so it doesn't have to fit, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to take it down to that mark there. And I think I'll just ink. If it's just a bit too plain like that and you're not over keen on it, you can stamp on it. This is just a script stamp. I'm not putting it on a block. I'm just rocking it and I'm just catching it. And I'm just not really bothered about it at all. And I'm just getting rid of the bits that are inked inside. And that's that. So now before I put that in on paper on, I'm going to stick these down. And I'm using art glitter glue. Just bear with me one moment. Oh, sorry about that, it was my son. I kept on gluing, so I've put these flaps on. There we are. And you can see where that was a bit overzealous when I was creasing that one. And again, we'll just... The flaps you don't see much inside of, but it's up to you. You can decorate them, use bits of book page, anything. Now, the way I've folded this, it's like a concertina. It's not going to fit in that way. It's going to fit in that way or that way, whichever. So all I do is I just get a glue stick. And I just put it in with glue stick. And then we just stick it down. If you want to use PVA glue or glitter glue or whatever, that's entirely up to you. And there we are. So now we need to decorate. Now we were keeping that one landscape, aren't we? So we'll just think what we'll do is we'll put that to one side and we'll do another one. So again, we'll take one of these with the flowers on, and this one is 3.5 by 4.5, so it's a little bit smaller. So again, I'll cut some card, and that one will fit perfectly in there. You'll get, and that's the way I've been doing it. That to 3.5 by 4.5, and then cut it in 2 bits, which is 1.25. And again, and again, I'm going to do a different pattern. You can just round the corners off, or you can leave them square like that if you want. You don't have to. So again, we'll stick these on. We'll do a little bit of stamping again. I'll do a little bit with the scorched timber. And I'm using the other edge of the stamp, and yeah, it's upside down, but I don't care. It doesn't really matter. More for the edges than anything. And if you wanted, you can do these. I'm doing the insides of the flaps. And there we are. And we'll stick these down. I'm just sticking them right to the edge. And I've not done holes in this one, which is fine. So I think what we might do is we might do like a policy closure on this one, which is the little circles. So I should have some circles punched out. If I haven't, that's fine. So I'm going to use this circle punch, which is 1.5 centimeters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5/8. And we're just going to punch some circles out. So I get asked a lot about the policy closures, more so on Facebook than anything. I think it's people that just see them and don't watch the video. But the reason I do the videos is to help people. So I've got ink on my fingers. I was doing some mixed media yesterday and the ink's still on my fingernails, so excuse it. So I stick 2 circles together. Or you can put 3 together. And then I ink round them. Sometimes I use digital paper, sometimes I don't. And then what I do is I guess the middle. Now this is a ball tool pen, but it has a pin tool as well. So I think that's the middle there. May not be. When you're using pin tools like this, be careful your fingers aren't behind them because it is so. Again. Oh. Now I've got a hole in, I'm going to use the smallest of the pin tools I've got to poke another hole in. Now a foam. So here's a big piece. This is, and this is, it's like sheets of foam that have been stuck together. Sometimes when you buy something delicate, it comes wrapped in this stuff. But this is ideal for a little bit overzealous with that. Right, just bear with me one. Okay, sorry about that. There's somebody at the door. And so I've poked holes in, and what I'm looking for now is little split pins. They're a bit too big, but you can use them. But it's the little small ones I'm after. And they'll fit through there perfectly. And they'll go on there. So what I need to do now is find out the middle of these. Oops. So this is 3.5. So that's the middle. Right, so I'm just going to put a tiny little pencil mark in. I'm going to go to the end. Now the way I find the middle, it's just one mark before the two on each side. I ignore that, and that's roughly where I want that. So this will be the same. If you've got one of these rulers, this is how you use it. And then if that went in there, right. So again, I'm going to use my pin tool, and I'm just going a fraction up. Like that. My pin, just a fraction up. Again, you can punch holes in if you want. Sometimes we make things harder than what they actually are. And then what we do is we put that in there now, and then you open the legs, and don't do it too tight, because what you're wanting is you're wanting your twine to go under there, so you want sort of like some room. Again, when you open the legs, just make sure that you don't push the pin right in, that you've got some space, as you can see there. Now if that bugs you, you can put a little piece of paper on it. I tend to, the best thing to put on it is masking tape, because masking tape, if you wanted, you could stamp over, and just a little bit. And then I put it down. And that's it stuck. And the same with this one. So I'm just putting the legs like that. Just putting it a little bit over. If you do it that way, you'll get it all creased. But if you do it this way, it'll not crease so much. And then what you can do is you can go over it and it just looks like a, yeah, you can see through it, but it's fine. And then this one, I think we're going to have that way. So we'll stick that in. It's up to you which way you stick your pages in. Don't think it really matters on a journal card. And then just put this in. Center it as best you can. If you wanted to, you could ink around your pages as well. And just open it and press it down. And then there you've got that. And there we are. So what we'll do is we'll decorate these two, I think. Let me check the... Yeah, I think we'll decorate these two. Now this one's definitely a coffee one, so I think we'll have a coffee label. You get free coffee labels on my Ko-fi. And I'm just going to trim this down. Okay. Now what I am going to, so this is Coffee and Friends Make Perfect Blends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do this. So it's like a tab. And then just taking the ends off. I'm going to make what looks like a little pocket on the front. And this is actually to go on this one. So what we'll do is we'll ink around the edge, glue around the edges of this. And there we've got a little pocket. So you can do all sorts of labels. These are quite big labels. These labels are 2 inches by 1 1/4 roughly. I didn't print them out right. I'm going to have to print them out again to make sure that they do print out right. Otherwise I might need to take them off and change them. But it'll just be, I'll make, and then we'll put a notice out just to say anybody that's you know, bought them in the past, if they're not. Right, I'm going to put a little tag in there, I think we'll use this one. That might be too, no, it's not perfect. And what about the little coffee cards? These are coffee sack cards. These come with the freebie as well. Ah, that's perfect. We might even have a little tag in here somewhere. No. But I can cut a little tag. I've got a little tag tag punch, and it is a diddy little tag, but I think what we'll do is we'll ink around that. And we'll definitely ink around this one. And there we are. And I think what we might have is we might have some kind of stamp pretty anyway. So round espresso mosquito. I don't know where the bugs and coffee go, but if you're outside drinking your coffee, something will always drop in it and try and eat it, drink it with you. And there we've got a secondary one on that. So we'll put that to one side and we'll do this one. Now this one doesn't need an awful lot to it, but I think one of these, and I'm quite about that one. Right, these are the foam labels that we did. This one's got a bumblebee on it, that's determination, but I want it to do with coffee, so I don't have any coffee ones as such. I want something that goes, doesn't go, yeah. That one, I know that's a bumblebee, but I quite like that one, so I think I'm going to put that one on. I'll put some tiny little pictures in here somewhere. It's alright, my hoover's going in there. In the background there, I've got some little photographs. Does she look like she needs a coffee? She does, doesn't she? And just putting that back. Right, so I'm just going to trim this off. And these are a set of photographs. Again, these are freebies on my Ko-fi site, and I can't remember the digital it's with. It's probably one of the shabby chic ones, or it might be part of the kit. I know some of the photos are free, but there is quite a lot, but I think some of them are part of the kit. She's like a wee shabby chic boho girl. It's in need of a coffee, and I think we'll have it. I'm not making a pocket, but I am going to make it look like it's popping out of the label, like it is a pocket. Okay. Then we'll put that one just there. And again, this foam, it just sticks in with glitter glue, PVA, Fabri-Tac, anything. Sorry about that, my cleaner's in at the moment, so I've told her not to worry about making a noise when I'm videoing. I've told she gets a bit panicky when I'm videoing. And there we are, we've got that, and I'm just going to go around that again with I'm just wondering if we need a flower on that, because she's the boho girl. Again, I'm just using the sponge that's been on the brown, that's fine. And I'm gonna, this is just a die cut that I just every now and again I just cut a load of die cuts out. And I usually do them in white unless I'm doing a particular theme. So we'll just put this on. And I'm just peeling that back a little bit because I want that in there. I might have to put a bit more glue on that, but never mind. If I do, I do. So if you don't stick everything down perfectly, then trying to think, do I want these on there now? No, I don't. No, I'm quite happy with them. But what I would like is some this. Now this is pearlized card that I've done this with. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over the little bubbles. And that'll dry into the pearlized card quite nicely. And even though I've stuck it on, I mean, doesn't matter. So that's brown grey. And this one's burnt orange. And I'm just going to do just the middle ones. And these are just aqua markers from a cheap shop here in the UK called B&M. So there we've got that. Just tidying up a bit and then we'll put the ribbon in. Just found this little butterfly. Do we want the little butterfly on one of these? Oh, this was a full butterfly, but I cut it in half. Because I just wanted a little tiny bit. Right. I've put some brown on, but I'm going to put some tiger lily on. So I've just sprayed a little bit of water on, so I put an aquarelle on. I didn't drown the edges. And it was a bit bright, so I just sprayed a little bit of water on it. I'm just using it. That's perfect. And there we are. And just a little bit of ink, and that'll soak into the water a little bit. That's perfect. So it's just made it a little bit more softer. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's only a little bit of card. If I spoil it, I spoil it, and it just won't go on. But you know, doing watercolours and mixed media and stuff, spraying on bits of paper, and you know what you can do and what you can't do, or what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. This is a piece of card, so, and I'm just going to put it on the edge of that pocket like that. I quite like that. Shove that up there. Put the lid on my glue because it keeps blocking up. Punches away, and then we're looking at ribbon. So, well, this one I want twine. I'm going to go for this twine string. Alright, so I always tie the twine at the top one, and this is why you need the space so that you can get your twine or your string or whatever you're using. And this is kind of a string coloured twine with a gold thread through it, but I quite like it. And all I'm doing is I'm tying that in a knot like that. Cut that bit off, and then we just, now you can go in a figure 8 like that, or you can go round like that. Some people put it round 3 times. I don't. I just put it round until I like the look of it. So we've got that one, and then we want some nice ribbon. I'm looking for coffee coloured ribbon. I've got some brown here and I can't grab hold of it. I've got some cream, and I think that this is satin on both sides, so that's fine, because sometimes when you buy ribbon it's satin on one side and a bit not and dull on the other. So there we are. And then we just tie this in a knot, grab that tail back, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.